Hello learners, welcome to NIOS Studio. I am Dr. Sushma Goyal. Today I am going to talk about maintenance of premises. Maintenance of premises is very important, as all of us know, and we are using the term facilities management, which is a professional term used by professionals for maintenance of premises. Facility management is a holistic view for maintenance of premises professionally, and it enhances asset value of the property. What are the benefits of maintenance? If we maintain premises, it is good for its protection, repair and preservation of interior as well as exterior surfaces as if they were new. Maintenance also enables clean, comfortable and attractive as well as safe environment. Maintenance provides solutions for operating functions of buildings effectively and efficiently. As all of us know that there are various kinds of buildings which need to be maintained. We need to maintain residential buildings, small office, large office, commercial buildings, hospitals, retail malls, hotels and theatres. Now, these are only some of the buildings which I am talking about, but there are many more buildings which we need to maintain. Let us look at what are the various facilities in these buildings which need to be maintained. We need to maintain the walls and ceilings, floors, metals and its alloys and non-metal surfaces we find for the interior, walls, ceilings and floors. Various metals and alloys are used as well as non-metal surfaces. Alloy is any material where we mix metal with some other metal, then it is known as an alloy. Then we also have various other services and facilities like water facilities, plumbing systems, lighting systems, electrical and electronic fittings and fixtures, as well as HVAC equipment. HVAC is heating, ventilation and air conditioning, which is one of the main component of any building. We will begin with cleaning and care of walls and ceilings. We find walls are not only plain walls, but they also occupy various other things inside the wall. We have wall partitions, we have doors, we have wall claddings, we have columns, we have wall screens, we have ceiling surfaces and we also have windows and window frames. Now, each one of these elements of the wall, they use different kind of materials. So, therefore, when we are cleaning the walls and ceilings, we have to look at what are the materials, what kind of surfaces are there, and then accordingly we have to maintain them. Now, let us just look at what are the types of materials which are used for walls, floors and ceilings. We have to know about these materials, because unless we know about these materials, we will not be able to select the right method for cleaning them. For metals, we have iron and its alloys, we have aluminum and its alloys, copper and its alloys, and we also have precious metals. We also use lot of non-metals. Actually, for walls, floors and ceilings, we will find there are a lot of non-metal materials which are used primarily, and these are natural products which are stone, wood, leather and lime. Also materials obtained from firing and burning, like we have ceramics, we have glass, we have bricks, we have cement, and also we have lot of man-made high polymers. Now, polymers are plastics which are used immensely in walls, ceilings and floors. Most of the times we find walls are painted. Now, painted walls can be whitewashed, could be distempered, or there could be acrylic and emulsion paints which are used for wall surfaces. For kitchens as well as for bathrooms and toilets, we generally use wall tiles. There are also wallpapers used for generally for drawing room, for bedrooms, so that the appearance of the walls could be changed time to time. And we also have wooden panels, and generally wooden paneling is used in theatres and places where soundproofing is required. Now, let us see what is the method for maintenance of walls. How do we maintain the walls? So, generally we remove cobwebs every day using a broom. So, we can also dust well with a brush or a soft cloth. We can fill up the cracks and crevices. Now, generally we find when there are some kind of cracks etc., if we do not fill them up, then there are ants and mosquitoes and other kind of elements which find place to harbor. So, we have to remove the cracks and crevices. We also must paint the walls intermittently, and generally a suitable time period for painting the walls is once in a year or for commercial buildings, but if it is a household, then maybe once in 2 years or 3 years is also suitable. So, depending on the use of the building, we paint the walls. Now, when we talk about care and of painted wall surfaces, we have to take care of some kind of precautions. So, paint can be destroyed if we rub it too hard, or we use strong cleaning agents, or we use abrasive powders. And poor quality paints, if we are using, then they also get flaked and washed away easily. So, we have to ensure that good quality paints are used so that they can be cleaned properly. Now, cleaning of painted walls, how do we do that? We can clean the painted wall, that is the advantage, that we can use a mild detergent or sometimes a soap jelly using a soft cloth. Now, what is a soft cloth? It could be a cotton dhoti kind of a material, or it could be the polishing cloth, which can also be used, which can be just dipped in the detergent and rubbed onto the surface. So, we have to rinse it with water and again squeeze it nicely and then apply it on a small area every time, because if we apply it on larger area, then it may actually leave some marks, because it will dry up and the soap will dry and it will not be possible to remove the marks. We can also rinse and dry using a sponge to prevent scratching. Now, after having talked about walls and ceilings, let us now talk about floors. How do we care about hard floors? Now, generally, in temperate climate and also in the climate like Delhi, we generally have hard floors. So, hard floors may be made up of stones, tiles, terrazzo, concrete, thermoplastics, rubber and asphalt. Now, there could be many more types of hard floorings, but these are some of them which are commonly used. Thermoplastics, as all of us understand, are the plastics which are being used. The hard floors which are generally used in interiors are the marble floors, the granite, mosaic and cement. How do we maintain the hard floors? Now, we have to sweep the floor daily using a broom. We also should mop the floor using a detergent, water and a disinfectant. Disinfectant is very important because only then your floors will be very clean, and children can also be left on the floor because generally they like to lick the floor also, while playing with it and pick up things. So, we must use a disinfectant, and also we have to polish the floors using a suitable method. Now, what is a suitable method for polishing of the floors? For polishing the floor, you can either use a machine and polish the floors, or you can use scrubbers, and then there are some polish powders which are available, and then with these soft scrubbers you can just polish it onto the floor and then give it a fine polish with a soft cloth. So, polish can really brighten up the floor, and this actually should be done once in a year or so, so that your floors are always shining. Whatever I have said till so far I want now to summarize the hard floor, cleaning of hard floor material using different materials in a table. Now, here we find that for hard flooring we are using stone or concrete, we are using asphalt, linoleum or linoleum, we are using terrazzo, we are using cement. Now, for all of these materials, the main cleaning method and the material which should be used is we have to scrub these floors using a detergent and warm water. Whereas for hardwoods, we do not use detergent and warm water, but rather we use a floor cleaner or a liquid wax, and also we use for daily cleaning a damp cloth which is not wet. So, damp cloth is, it just has few drops of water which makes it slightly damp, and then we just rub the floor using the damp cloth. Now, we also find that we layer our hard floors with some kind of soft floorings materials. Now, soft flooring materials which are generally used are coconut matting, or they could be carpets and rugs. Now, how do we clean these soft floor materials? So, for both of these we must use a suction cleaner. Suction cleaner could be a vacuum cleaner, can be used, and for carpets and rugs we can use the shampoo. We can shampoo our carpets, and we can also dust them every 3 months, but shampoo can be done once in a year or so. In commercial places it could be done more frequently depending on the usage. For coconut matting we can use warm soapy water, and for washing, and we can also scrub it with a brush, and we must, if we are washing the coconut matting, we should dry it immediately, otherwise it will become very soggy and soft. So, in order to prevent it from getting soft, we must dry immediately. Now, we come on to glass. Now, glass is another non-metal material which is used often in the interiors for windows, for tabletops, for partitions, for sliding doors, for shelves, and also so many other kind of accessories for which we use glass. Now, how do we take care of glass? Now, for glass again we have to use it, we have to clean it every day, dust with a dry cloth. We should also rub with methylated spirit using a rag and powdered whiting or commercial glass cleaner. We can also finish with a clean soft cloth or newspaper or chamois leather, and for shining the glass we can also rinse it with water mixed with vinegar. Now, if we clean glass with water mixed with vinegar, it really shines very well, and you really get that kind of transparent look on the glass. While cleaning the glass, we have to take some precautions. We must avoid use of hard scrubbers and abrasives to prevent scratches, because glass has a hard surface, and if it gets scratched, the scratches can never be removed, then you have to change the glass. So, we have to be careful that in order to maintain the transparent look of the glass, it should not have any kind of scratches. Now, we come on to another material which is also a non-metal material, which is plastic. Now, plastic, we know this is modern age, and nowadays plastic is rarely used in interiors. So, we use plastics for bottles, mugs, buckets, furniture, doors and counters, and most of the time we find plastic also has a problem of it gets scratched, or it loses its shine as it ages. So, we have to be very careful in using the plastic and cleaning the plastic in the right method, so that it retains its shine, its look as if it was fresh. So, how do we clean the plastics? We remove stubborn stains by using kerosene oil and later polishing it with mustard oil for shine. This really helps, if you use kerosene oil, first you remove the stubborn stains and then just polish it with mustard oil. So, mustard oil brings back the shine on plastic, and we must also avoid the use of abrasives and chlorine to prevent scratches. Now, we talk about metals. So, all this while we have been talking about non-metals, now we are going to talk about metals. Now, metals definitely are very important because they are very strong, but with metals the problem is most of the metals, they do get tarnished and they lose their luster, as they age. So, how do we maintain the metals which are used in interior surfaces? So, first let us talk about brass. Brass, all of us know, does have a problem of tarnish. So, how do we clean it regularly so that it does not tarnish, it does not loses its luster? So, we have to clean and rub it with sand and brick powder. After doing that, we have to rub it very nicely, because if you rub with sand and brick powder, then definitely all the marks on the brass will be removed. And after that, it is very effective. You can try this method. You mix lemon or tamarind or salt with vinegar. And when you mix up these three things and you just apply a layer on the brass metal and leave it for 15 minutes to half an hour, and you will find that your brass really has a new look. It is very effective. So, you can try this, and after that you wash it with water, and then you have to clean and polish the surface with a dry and soft cloth. Generally, people do use Brasso and such kind of polishes, but the only problem with Brasso is that it tarnishes more, and also brass has a different color, and Brasso may not be used for utensils which are used for dining. So you can use it for artifacts, etc. So it is always better to use the method mixing lemon and vinegar together in equal proportions and just apply for 15 minutes to half an hour. Now, similar to brass, we have copper. All of us know that brass also has an element of copper in it, and similarly copper is something which tarnishes very, very fast. So, copper loses its luster in no time. Within a week you will find, oh God, this was not the copper which I bought. So, we must wash it with warm and soapy water every day, and then we have to clean the tarnish with salt, vinegar and lemon and allow to stand for 15 minutes. Similarly, as we have done for brass, similarly we have to do with copper, and then you rinse well with water and then buff it with a soft cloth, because buffing with soft cloth really helps in maintaining the look. Now, let us talk about gold. How do we maintain gold? Now, all of us know gold is a precious metal, and ladies really like to wear gold jewelry, but then how to ensure that gold is shining and it has its luster? So, what do? We have to mix 1 teaspoon of ash or baking soda, all of us have baking soda at home, with enough water to form a paste. So, we make a paste of baking soda with water, rub it onto the surface of the gold with a soft cloth, because do not use a harsh or a rough cloth, because that will also leave marks, and gold is a very soft metal, all of us should know. So, because gold being a soft metal, we must be very gentle with it. So, rinse well with water and buff it with a soft cloth. So, after you have washed it with water, you have to keep on rubbing it with soft cloth, because that also helps to improve its look. Now, we are going to talk about silver. Silver is another precious metal, and we do have lot of silver utensils at home, artifacts at home. So, how do we maintain the silverware that we have at home? So, we have to wash them with hot soapy water and ammonia. Now, ammonia really helps, because that also removes the tarnish, and then you have to wipe it immediately. Now, like I told you for brass and copper, if you also apply to silver also lemon and vinegar and just apply, leave it for 15 minutes only and wash it, and then you can polish it with a soft cloth. It will also regain its luster. For silver, one more thing I would like to tell you, if you immerse silverware with equal 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda and you boil silverware in that for 15 minutes. All the tarnish on the silver will get removed by itself. Now, aluminium definitely is a very hardy material, and so much of development has taken place that nowadays we have anodized aluminium, which definitely maintains its shine, but then there are aluminium which are otherwise which are not anodized. So, they really need to be taken care of, otherwise aluminium has a problem of pitting, it gets small holes and in which a lot of dirt gets settled. So, for cleaning aluminium you have to clean and rub it with fine sand and mild soap, and you have to rinse it with water and wipe it. Apply vinegar and leave for 15 minutes, rinse and polish with soft cloth. So, vinegar is definitely very handy for regaining the look of most of the metals which we should keep with us. Now, we come on to maintenance of iron. Now, iron, definitely we do have iron, in the form of steel and also iron as such. So, we have to scrub with 3 tablespoons of baking soda, any abrasive, or we can take like brick powder or a glass of warm water. So, we have to keep on scrubbing hard for some time, because at least spend 5 to 10 minutes on that and scrub it hard so that it gets cleaned well, and then season with pure mustard oil at low setting on stove for 30 minutes after cleaning with warm soapy water. So, oil is actually like a seasoning applied onto the iron, and it also prevents rusting of iron, and all of us know if iron rusts, then part of the metal is getting removed. So, we have to ensure that iron does not rust and we restore the metal to its original quality, and then we can wipe it with a soft cloth, avoid any synthetic detergents, because they may remove seasoning of iron. Now, we talk about stainless steel. Stainless steel is one of the best materials, which is very easy to maintain. It is a very inert material. When I say inert, by inert I mean you scratch it, you do anything and it will regain its shine and look as if it was always new. And we have different qualities of stainless steel available, and it can withstand all kinds of cleaners due to high stability. So, you can use any kind of cleaners and stainless steel is quite safe. So, stainless steel, even if you just clean it with warm soapy water and just clean it with a soft cloth, it shines. So, till so far we have talked about the metals which are used in the household for various purposes, and how do we maintain them, metals and non-metals, how do we maintain them so that their original look can be retained. So, now we are going to talk about the later part in another session. Thanks.
घर बैठे पाएं राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय शिक्षा संस्थान यानी NIOS में एडमिशन, वो भी एकदम आसान तरीके से, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को होगी समय और धन दोनों की बचत। NIOS से शिक्षा कभी भी कहीं भी। शिक्षार्थियों, क्या आप जानते हैं NIOS में एडमिशन लेने का सरल और सुगम तरीका, जिससे शिक्षार्थियों को ऑनलाइन प्रवेश लेने में सहूलियत मिलती है। NIOS में प्रवेश की प्रक्रिया पूर्णतया ऑनलाइन है। शिक्षार्थी घर बैठे इंटरनेट द्वारा प्रवेश के लिए सबसे पहले NIOS की वेबसाइट www.nios.ac.in पर लॉगिन करें, अपना ईमेल आईडी और पासवर्ड डालकर अपना पंजीकरण करें। पंजीकरण के बाद लॉगिन करने पर ऑनलाइन प्रवेश हेतु आवेदन पत्र खुलेगा। आवेदन पत्र को निर्देशानुसार भरें और प्रिंट आउट लें। इस प्रिंट आउट पर अपनी फोटो संलग्न करें। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश के लिए शुल्क हेतु भुगतान के तरीके हैं: क्रेडिट कार्ड के द्वारा, डेबिट कार्ड के द्वारा, राष्ट्रीयकृत बैंक के ड्राफ्ट के माध्यम से, जो कि सचिव NIOS नई दिल्ली या नोएडा के पक्ष में देय हो। भरे हुए आवेदन पत्र के साथ साथ डिमांड ड्राफ्ट और संलग्न किए जाने वाले दस्तावेज हैं: जन्म रजिस्ट्रार के जिला कार्यालय से जारी जन्म प्रमाण पत्र की सत्यापित प्रति, जिसमें जन्म तिथि अंकित हो, पिछले विद्यालय से प्राप्त विद्यालय छोड़ने का प्रमाण पत्र, जिसमें आवेदक की जन्म तिथि लिखी हो। प्रवेश फॉर्म का प्रिंट आउट NIOS के संबद्ध क्षेत्रीय केंद्रों पर 10 दिनों में पहुंच जाना चाहिए, अन्यथा उचित दस्तावेज ना लगे होने पर आवेदन फॉर्म रद्द किया जा सकता है। प्रवेश प्रक्रिया की पुष्टि होने के बाद शिक्षार्थियों को परिचय पत्र व अध्ययन सामग्री डाक द्वारा तुरंत पहुंचाई जाती है। ऑनलाइन प्रवेश एक बहुत ही सुगम और सुविधाजनक प्रवेश प्रणाली है। ऑनलाइन ऑन टाइम फॉर सेफ एंड सिक्योर एडमिशन।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से,